Hi everyone, welcome to the weekly review of my M1 Finance dividend portfolio. Balance on the account is $192,710.14. I am officially less than $8,000 towards the $200,000 goal that I have for the brokerage account for 2024. That's a new goal. The original, I don't think I actually set a goal for 2024. I did set an investment amount goal, like how much I want to actually contribute to the portfolio, but I didn't actually set like a balance goal. But as the months went on in this year, I just got really excited at the possibility of being able to get the portfolio to $200,000. So that's what I'm working on right now. Last week, I know it was a very controversial video where I depleted my emergency fund and put all of it into the brokerage account. So if you want to see that, you can look at last week's video, but this is where I am. Very excited to see this amount. The gain was minimal this week, but we'll talk through it as usual. All right, so let's go ahead and look at the performance for the past week. So overall, again, the portfolio was up $619.79 or 0.32%. Again, to me, that's very minimal, just given the large balance on the portfolio. But let's look at the holdings. VU was up $296.39 or 0.25%. SEHD was up 0.46% or $321.47. And then QQQM was up 0.11% or $1.93. So let's go ahead and look at the deposits for the past week. So Q3 dividends got paid out, which is absolutely amazing. So we'll talk through that, as well as I made some deposits. So let's just take our time with it. So on September 27th, the Q3 dividend got paid out. It was $2.02. I reviewed this last week, but just to make everything holistically, that's what I got paid out for QQQM. Then for SCHD on September 30th, that dividend was paid out. I got $621.92. Then on September 30th, I made a couple deposits. I deposited $350. Then later that day, I put in another $50. Then later that day, I put in another $500. I was just like, I think I was just a little bit on a rampage of just wanting to get the brokerage account just higher as quickly as I can. So for the past week of my own money, I put in $900. If you add the 500 plus the 350 plus the 50. Now you see here on September 30th, I got a buy for $902.03. So that's essentially the $900 of my own cash that I put in, plus the $2.02 of the Q3 dividend payment for QQQM. Hopefully that wasn't too confusing, but that's how the number added up to $902.03. So let's look at this trade. It went to VU and QQQM. So VU, $707.28 of the amount was purchasing shares for VU, and I got 1.34 shares. And then the remaining balance of $194.75 went to QQQM, and I got 0.97 shares. So that's the first buy. And then on October 1st, the Q3 dividend payment for VU was $371.84. So on October 1st, you see here the dividend for SCHD, that's $621.92 that I just reviewed with you. It got reinvested into the portfolio. I do reinvest all my dividends into the portfolio. So it went to VU and QQQM. So for VU, $613.04 went to it. So I got 1.16 shares. And then for QQQM, $8.88 went to that. So I got 0.04 shares. All right, then on October 2nd, the Q through dividend payment for VU, you see here, $371.84. That got reinvested. It went to VU and QQQM. $357.01 of it went to VU, so I got 0.68 shares. And then the remaining balance of $14.83 went to QQQM, and I got zero point 0.07 shares. So hopefully that was clear. I do like to show, of course, my dividends and how they get reinvested and where they go. The reason why they all went to VU and QQQM is because I'm trying to build up the balances in those two particular ETFs. All right, so just to recap, for the past week, I put in $900 of my own cash, plus I received a total of $995.78 in total Q3 dividend payments for my three holdings of VU, SEHD, and QQQM. All right, so let's go back and let's just look at the recap. So I started the week at a balance of $190,194.56. Net cash flow of $1,895.79. That is the $995.78 in dividends I received, plus the $900 of cash that I put in. That's what that total is. And then the overall market gain of $619.79 is what brings the balance to $192,710.14. All right, and then let's just go ahead and look at the holdings so we can see just overall how the portfolio is doing. So overall, it's up 12.71% or $21,723.92. VU is up 11.88% or $12,873.44. SCHD continues to lead the charge in terms of overall returns at 14.42% or $8,791.76. And then QQQM is up 3.49% or $58.72. So I do still think the gain amount of 21,000 is low, again, just given the size of the portfolio. So I'm really hoping once this portfolio gets to 200,000, I'll really start to see some massive investment returns. We'll see. Stock market is very unpredictable. All right, and then for upcoming deposits, I do have $350 in cash that will get traded on Monday. And we can see that it's all going to go into VU. So we'll review that trade in next week's video. Now, what's really exciting too about the portfolio is that the allocation percentages that I set for it, I'm getting closer and closer to meeting them. So I've made some changes along the way, but I feel pretty good about where it is right now. So let's just kind of look at that. So for VU, the target right now, you see here, I'm trying to make it 70% of the portfolio, and it's currently 62.8%. So almost there. Same thing with SCHD. I want to make it 29% of the portfolio. So I want to bring down the holdings in SCHD in terms of portfolio allocation, and it's currently 36.2%. And then for QQQM, I aimed for 1%, and it's currently 0.9%. So essentially, it's like at 1%, right? Depending on how you look at it. So I'm really like that. I'm almost close to what I want the portfolio ratios to be. And then once it hit these ratios, then going forward, it's just going to invest money in all of my holdings versus all the money right now going to VU, which I'm not complaining. That's where I want it. It's the S&P 500. I'm a long-term investor, so very happy with that. But I am looking forward to putting money into SCHD as well. So that's where I am. In terms of QQQM, I know it's a growth ETF. Definitely happy to have it part of my portfolio, but I am going to tread very carefully with it because it's, it can be very volatile. And I just don't want to increase the position too aggressively and then it completely wrecks my portfolio. So right now it's at 1%. I think once the portfolio gets over 200,000, probably when it's like 205,000, 210,000, like that range, I'll probably then go ahead and bump up QQQM to 2% and then just reduce SEHD to 29%. In terms of the future allocation portfolio. So I would be reducing the SEHD position, not the VU position, to give QQQM more percentage holding in the portfolio. Because I do still want VU to be like my, solid foundation for this portfolio. Anyway, I know that was a lot of information. Hopefully it was helpful. And I'll catch you in next week's video. Bye.